Okay. There are no slides, nothing today. Okay. We're going to focus on uh, how things are going to be. Okay. Uh, and then afterwards, uh, like I said, yeah, see, the Satya is also here. So, um, okay. Baba is here too. Okay. All right. So today's session going to be very significant, as I was saying. If you put your whole into it, then you would see why I am like this, why I'm talking about all that, okay? Let's start with this corona spread. You know, what is happening is people are not able to stay in their house, and also they have this boredom or not able to deal with themselves and all that, right? So what I found was, how is that I am able to stay not experiencing any loneliness or wanting people to call me or wanting people to reach out to me, none of that, okay? So then I began to see what was happening in my interior and how I was before, okay? Before I used to be like, oh, that friend didn't talk to me, this relative didn't call me, and all of that, okay? Now I don't have any of that. So how can people stay with themselves and stay inside without this loneliness or boredom, okay? So what the change was, the interior, going into the interior, turning inward. That was the difference. So I want you guys to explore that today and experience for yourself what that inwardness means, what that finding out where the loneliness and all that, and then get over it, okay? So that's a very simple thing, but then it's a very hard thing if you don't come from a different perspective, okay? If you come from your body-mind complex and ego, you will not be able to understand this. But if you come from the perspective of being that entity beyond the body and mind. Anybody remembers the mantra I told last time? I made you all repeat one mantra. Unmute yourself and speak, because I've muted everybody.
No, I don't remember that, but I've got it in my album. I mean, it's there. I've taken a print of it, but I don't remember it.
Anybody else? Anybody, even one person remembers that? Nandu?
She's muted.
No, Babu, I don't remember it.
Okay, Satya?
Samasta, Astha. So,
Okay, I just tested it because I want you to be here for this meeting, okay? Just don't listen and go, because nothing will come out of that if you just do that, okay? But then pay attention. What did they say? Deham naham. Koham soham. Deham means not only body, but also the mind. That is not me, naham. Koham, then who am I? Soham. Soham means hamsa. That is the perfect consciousness. So if you come from your egotistical or personality or the simple mind, you won't be able to appreciate what I'm talking about. But if you just put that aside for now, put your name, put your status, put your everything that you think about yourself, put it aside and see who that reality behind the body
Hello?
mind complex. Okay, then you will be able to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so remember that deham, naham, koham, soham. If you just repeat only this all day, it will be wonderful for you. If you cannot even repeat all day, at least in the morning and in the evening. Okay. Why I repeated that mantra is that is very crucial to understand why people are not able to stay in their own house and also just with themselves and also go inside themselves. Because they are not able to do it, they're always looking for some activity or some conversation or some social interaction, some validation by the family and all that, this is happening. Okay. So what you do is you kind of get that, it's a concept. It is actually, that is where you have to operate from. Okay. Once you are operating from that, then you will be able to understand a lot more things. Okay. Our people have talked about this. Ramana talked about this. I mentioned Ramana in this perspective in the previous talks too. If you see it, he was going with Paul Brunton on the hill one day, and Paul Brunton was asking him questions. So they repeated the whole conversation in Ramana Periya Puranam or something that Ganesh has compiled. So he was telling Paul Brunton, our problem is we always run out with our thought. Our senses, our intellect always run out. That's why we are miserable. Whereas he says, if you can turn that movement of thought inward, shut off all the external things, and then fall back on the intuitive feeling, then you catch that Sat Chit Anand. So that is where the entire civilization is making a mistake. I found this out by examining myself. How is that I don't feel like going out, or I don't feel like if I go out, that's fine. If I don't go out, that's fine too. So basically, I kind of got out of the deham, the body and the mind. Okay. And then I'm trying to be in that self, he calls, or complete awareness. Okay. For example, Nisargadatta Maharaj, the BD Baba, he went to his guru and asked him, I want to realize. Then he said, okay, I will give you only one mantra that you repeated every day. In English, it was like I am absolute consciousness. That's all. He repeated just that. I am absolute consciousness. Every day, every part of life, he did that, and out of that, he was enlightened and words of wisdom flew from him. He was an illiterate and he was a beady merchant in a slum of Bombay, but people found him and came all the way to Bombay looking for him. In a small room, he speaks only Marathi, and then he challenged people and then he made them be aware of this consciousness. So remarkable. So just by realizing, or not even realizing, repeat it, only one thing, that I am absolute consciousness. I am absolute consciousness. I am absolute consciousness. So what happens is your body, mind are so dominant, you don't feel like that is me. But the moment the body-mind complex is understood and put in its place, and then look for that consciousness, that's where you are. If you are stationed in that, then the movement of mind will stop, but for the things that you want to do. So this is where you do the work, but you do the work with a silent mind. And then the consciousness comes through everything. Okay. So how do you turn inside? What can you do? What is happening is, the moment you wake up, you immediately go into the number of things you have to do, or the immediate things, or whatever that comes up in front of you. Okay, so immediately drawn into your stream of thought, which says, I have to go, I have to do this. Body needs are met, and then you come out not having a free, quiet mind, more of job worries, financial worries, relationship worries, all those things take place. And then you are mired up in that worry mode or anxious mode or excitable mode or whatever. So it cannot be just negative only. You can be enjoying a show, or you can be enjoying a movie or entertainment and all that, right? So what you want to do is, you want to be aware of that stream of thought. Then you see, okay, I'm going out trying to think about stuff that need to be done. You would think that's very responsible, but you are going under your influence of the mind, and that is, they described as Maya. So all you have to do is, okay, I need to do things, I will do them, but why do I have to allow my mind to go all over? Once you are aware of that, then you will do things, but without a chattering mind. Okay, for that they have prescribed things to do. Okay, then what you do now is, now you have seen inside of yourself, you are aware of the interior. The more you are like that, the more you turn inside and see yourself. You're getting angry, you're getting fearful, you're getting anxious, you're getting depressed. All those things, you see them. You see them means you are separate from them. Then you are not involved in them, but you have a challenge, you have a stuff to do, you have to prepare food, you do the food. But why do you have to be continuously thinking? Why you guys don't remember anything is because it has not become your property. You have not wound up what we are listening, why we are listening, what we are learning from it, how is that real in my life? These are the things you have to do if you really want to be beneficial of the spiritual practices. Just going to the temple, just doing all of that, that's only psychological feeling that something will be protecting. But then if you really go and connect with that power behind that murti in the temple, the murti represents that power. If you can connect the power, then the power is you. You will also get into that, and then that power operates through you in your life. Okay, so all the people who are having this, either India or here or anywhere, they want to get out because their compulsive thinking makes them feel like, unless I go and see my friends, unless I go to the bar or pub, take a beer, I won't be happy. I have to satisfy this urge. So they are basically under the compulsion of their body needs or compulsion of their mind going all over. So how do you do this all the time is, they give meditative practices where you first concentrate your mind, then you turn that mind inward and see what's happening within you. That's why they go into samadhi and they go into this blissful ecstatic states, because otherwise the mind is going all over, otherwise mind is chattering all over, and that is losing a lot of energy. Okay, if you have a paper and pen, write this down. This may help you guys. Okay, how can you maintain the highest energy through the day? Okay, the formula for that is you got to be in a unselfish work. Second thing is you do the bodily work or exercise for the body, and the mind, you have to learn something new. That means you have to put the mind in a study mode. Okay, study mode, not employing it in repetitive entertainment or gossip or any of that negative way of using the mind. Something new. So what it is, you keep the body in shape by exercising. That is asana, pranayama, and all that. And then you keep the mind in a study mode, in a learning mode. Something new, if you do that, and then you, whatever work you do without an agent and without expecting the fruits. Then whatever is presented, you do it unselfishly. If you do these three, you know what you awake in you? It is called Kundalini or Durga. The Parvati and all that, there's a real energy there that will come up. Right now, you don't have that energy. What you have is driven by fear or anxiety or depression or driven by superficial needs and all that. You don't have that tremendous power of the mind or the body that rises in the body with yoga practice and concentrated meditation and awareness. Then that power, that is really power, that comes up. Okay, so three things: keep the body in shape, keep the mind engaged in new things, and engage yourself in unselfish work. Okay, then it is kind of raises that power that is there in everybody. Okay, now let me go through the entire group. I'm going to unmute everybody. You can unmute all of you. Then we can go through the entire thing one at a time. One thing that you want to try, and then one thing you want to accomplish in the next week. Okay, your choice, whatever it is. Okay. So Chichu, did you understand what I talked about?
Yes, Chin Babu.
So tell me
It's about
one thing. Yeah.
it's about being within oneself and being comfortable within oneself and trying to find solution within oneself.
Not being comfortable. Comfortable means that is according to your personality, ego, and all that. Just whoever it is, whatever comes up.
Comfortable, I mean accepting yourself the
Not
way
really
you are.
accepting,
what you
just pay attention to whatever that comes up. Then that changes.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise,
Okay.
if you go by your conditioning thought and all that, then you're in trouble again. Okay.
Okay.
First learn how to go inside, then see what is happening. Then you will find the solutions there too. But first of all, why I'm going after outward things? That is the message they are giving. If you go, then somehow or other that will result in misery. But if you go inside, then you can do outward things without any misery. Okay, and then there is a blissful states in the interior. Once you touch them, you don't feel like having the external pressures. You are naturally are not really for it. Like, you have seen 20 movies in a row, then you get tired of them, You won't have the same pleasure that you have with the first movie, Like that, all these ordinary things will go away, then you discover that, okay? That's why if you practice spirituality, what happens is the suffering in your life, in whichever form, now or later, will go down or will be overcome easily. And then there is another thing too. You will have blissful state that you experience, then you won't feel the suffering in the life. Like Sharadama, Ramakrishna's wife, she used to suffer poverty, she used to be in the poverty, she used to be in so much of physical work, so many responsibilities of the ashram, but she was never tired, she was never complained. Then people thought she is working too hard, then they took pity on her. You know what she said? Well, I never knew suffering because Ramakrishna showed me what is a blissful state is. And from that, I was never away from it. So I'm always in that blissful. He said, he put a blissful state in my heart, and that's why I never knew suffering. Other people thought she was suffering, but she did not perceive it like that. So that's because she's always stationed within that blissful state. All these outward things are nothing for her. That's the message I'm trying to get to you guys. Okay, so tell me one thing that you're going to do, Chichu. You started conversation. Whatever you want to.
I'll try to keep myself more in the present. I'm really working on that because I tend to get distracted. I still want to do multiple things at a time. So
you want to be in the present.
Calming myself to do one at a time. Slot them and work on it one at a time.
Okay, that is the one that you want to see. Okay.
That is what majorly stresses me out. So that is what I want to really work on. I'm working on it. Actually, lot improved from how I used to be too stressed earlier. Compared to that, I'm lot better compared to those days. But yes, I still need to work on that.
Okay. Now let's see Nandu.
Nandu's got disconnected. She's trying to get back.
No,
Can you see if she's doing?
Yeah, she's here.
I got back in.
Nandu?
I got back in, but audio is very, very bad. I'm not able to hear anything.
We were talking about one thing you can say that you want to do over the next week, and then we'll see. Like Chitu said, she wants to be in the present. She's still having tough time, but then we can see next week how she has progressed, what has worked, what has not worked, what were the reasons why she could not be in the present. Those are things like that. You tell me one thing that you want to. You already are trying to be in the present. That's fine. But you tell me one thing that you want to do. Anything, Nando.
Probably focus more, improve my focus on. I am working on that. What else?
First of all, did you guys understand what is the importance of practicing spirituality, how it is going to take away the suffering? That's what I said by way, in the entire talk. The focus is on that. Why we should focus on the spirituality is because of this understanding, your suffering will be lessened, and if you really understand, it will be taken away. Did you guys write the 3 things I told you about raising the Durga in you?
Yeah, to be in an unselfish world,
No,
to
no,
be
not to be in unselfish work, to do unselfish work.
okay, to
Do
do unselfish.
unselfish work. Yeah.
Work. No, it's not about other people. You do the unselfish work.
Okay.
Second,
To do unselfish work.
To do exercise,
yeah,
physically active,
yeah.
that we do, that I do.
Third
To
one,
look within, to assess ourselves every day on a day on work.
no, no, that's not the third thing I told.
Hello.
I said keep the mind in study mode, something learning
Study.
new. Don't engage it
Uh,
in all the other activities.
Oh, that I'm keeping myself very busy in COVID. We're having too many
No, no,
sessions that we
that
need to
that
educate,
is
so
that
that's
is
what we're doing.
that's
Very busy.
information. That's not it. Study means something completely new. You expose your mind to.
Okay.
Like a new language, like Dharna was saying, or new music, or new shastra that is intricated, all those things. It's not about fiction. It's not about gossip. It's not about information.
I'm doing a course from tomorrow. It's reflective writing.
Yeah.
As
See,
a as
see
a
that's that.
teacher,
Yeah.
how do I reflect on my work,
Yeah.
and how do I work on that? So my course starts from
Yeah.
tomorrow.
So those three
I
things.
did a course in June. Train
No,
the
no,
trainer.
no, it's
I
not
did a course.
every
That's
day you
something
have to
new.
do that. Every day you have to do that. Okay. Whatever you do, every day you have to engage the mind in a new learning thing. It could be as a simple as going on the street and paying attention to where everybody is, what everybody is doing, what is happening, not according to you, but what it is right there. Suppose you are walking and there's a lot of water going on in one particular part of the street, that's new. So you got to be tuned to that. So it's not about getting a benefit and learning something, engaging the mind in something new, in a study manner. So keeping the mind in study mode, keeping the body in the highest exercise mode, and then involving yourself in an unselfish work. Not being unselfish work, it's not about others, it is about you. Your work, is it selfish or unselfish? You determine yourself, and then all I'm saying is, if you do these things, not that you have to do, I'm not telling you have to do it. What I'm saying is, your highest energy is possible when you are engaged in unselfish work and do the physical exercise for the jada body, and then engage the mind in study mode. If you involve yourself in entertainment mode, if you involve yourself in gossip mode, all the information that you are learning, I think that becomes a gossip. That is not going to trigger that study mode. Okay, something completely new, you got to open it, not from your memory, not from your imagination, but something in front of you right there. You have to be able to. Why do you guys don't even listen properly is because your minds are going into something else all the time. Like, for example, I said unselfish work. I did not say unselfish world. There's not going to be unselfish world somewhere. Everybody's selfish. It is you who has to engage in unselfish work. That means whatever work you are doing, you have to see, is there anything that I'm expecting from this work? Or is there an agent there that's saying, I am the one who is doing it? If you have those two, then that does become unselfish work. It becomes selfish work. Agent, an ego, a personality working, that doesn't become self. So let's come to the 4 yogas that incorporate these three. Okay. Suppose you do the karma yoga like what it is supposed to be, no agent. That means I am not the one who is doing this work, but I am being used to get this work done. Okay. And then also, whatever the result, I'm not very worried. I'm going to put my complete effort into that. That is karma yoga. Okay. You do that. Then you have to have a devotional approach to life. Okay, then you will feel much more purified in the heart and all that. So that is the bhakti yoga. And the third one is your mind is going all over. You want to concentrate that. That is the Raja Yoga. And the fourth one is the most important, is the Gnana Yoga. Right now you are thinking you are body and mind complex. That's why you said Deham Naham. But you are that absolute consciousness that is within all the living beings. So you change your perspective of who you really are. That is Gnana Yoga. Gnana Yoga is knowledge. It dispels your ignorance that I am this body mind. So with that just one mantra, you can come to that. Okay, it's complicated, but then if you just even remember this, that's good enough. So practical works I'm going to give you is, number one is, try to repeat this mantra just right after you wake up. Okay, Deham Naham Khoham Soham. That's all. You do it by
Can
10
you repeat? Deham, Naham,
Khoham Soham.
Koham.
Soham. Why that is so difficult? I repeated so many times. And then
That's something not very familiar. So yes, I need to.
we did that last time also. That means the last time you did not listen at all. That's why I made you guys all repeat that. Why I'm repeating that is, this makes you listen more intently, more intentionally, and then you'll be able to do that. And the third one is, first you do the first one. Second is you involve yourself in unselfish activity, something, okay? And the third one is that you try to concentrate your mind in a study mode, okay? If you do these three things, unselfish work, bodily activity, and mind silent, but when it's study mode, it will be in the study mode. It's a learning mode. It's not about repeating or imagining. It is about learning mode. If you do those, the entire thing will change. And then getting inside and finding that Paramananda Prapti, they say. Paramananda, that is the Ananda in the Satchit Ananda. Once you find that, outward things will be easier to handle. You should not do it expecting that. You should do it because that practice results in that ultimately. First of all, you want to be out of your ignorance. Then you'll be able to do these things. So if you practice this, corona or other things comes up or too, it doesn't matter. You won't live in fear. You will handle it if it should happen to us. Or you will handle it with so much awareness that you won't put yourself in a situation where you can get it. And also, you don't waste your energy in all unnecessary talks and blaming other people or anything like that. Then that mind conserved energy can be directed to work that is selfless, and that itself is the life. So don't listen to these talks just like they are one of the things, You want to engage in everything and come to the talk and listen a few minutes, you are wasting your time. You have to make sure you and then you kind of come in the mode where you are observing this new material and then take it to the life and implement them. Then you will see the result. Then you will be hooked on that. This is what happened to me, the interior change. That's why I'm not craving for people to call me or I'm craving to get out, or I am miserable, or none of that. So I live in a blissful world, even though external circumstances are very difficult now, are going to be more difficult for us, but I'm going to turn around the externals because I'm in blissful state. That is the biggest thing about spirituality in India. That Durga you are worshipping is right in you. You have to awaken that by not depleting your energy. If you do these things, the highest energy, that is the manifestation of Durga, it will come out. Okay? Any questions?
Chen Babu, I could not hear majority of the thing. My audio
I will
is
send you
very
the
bad.
recording, Anando. I will
Right.
send you the recording.
Yeah,
Okay?
please,
Yeah.
please.
I was
Because I'm
recording.
trying to straining. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I was
you lost
training
the.
myself to hear,
Yeah, that's fine. I will
but
send this
there was a
recording.
lot of audio break. Yeah,
Yeah. I
thank you.
think actually this recording is important for you guys if you really want to see. The main thing is we are also conditioned that the lifestyle, the life we are leading, we think that is main thing and this is secondary. That's a mistake because our spiritual heritage, our spiritual knowledge and all that, they showed the right ways to be free of suffering. So if we don't take advantage of it, there's nobody to blame but us, So listen to this recording once or twice till you get the message that you can adapt and implement in your life. Then that will be good. Okay. So that's no problem, Nanda. I will send that recording to you. Okay. Okay. So is there anything else you want to talk? All right, then I will end the meeting at this time, okay? And then I will send the recording to you, Nando, okay?
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Shiv
Okay.
Babu.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.